Mame fa na se ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Ahwefonya ti for me mo bibiara kwa ba eba PENDREAM TV. Nana ma aja kon any divine thing bi atodwa omo kire se abra na MPP fo ana se abra na former president Nana Addo kwa Akufo-Addo owa ban mu no obu emrane kum or disregarding no na oye ni ope obi akasa na onti na afia ya to aba ede yi omampan foforo no omo MPP fo no epese ni omo ebeka na eye NDC fo anase aban foforo no enye emo na emo nkasa na abra na omo wa ban mu no obi akasa na omo nti na omo ye ni omo pe ensema hudo bi kawe hu na nana maja akon ene divine ede atudwa mepese obeka me hone ati omo nsem no enchirem subscribe to channel no do adwon to comment section ho kame hone ati ensem enchirem
divine memra wo so na yenhwe
yo bedase nana ma dedi kan ma minchia ahwefo ene atiefo nyina na minchia lawyer
ade na copy yo
unim asemu ya ye kawe ne kai kana na on se me de bia asema me kan se o we fo nsa na wa hwe wodie ena brofo kasemu ne o ababia ye ka se as it was in the morning so shall it be in the evening answer na meba mami we asem yi justice toko no asem we mami fa unfi abakosemu na me ma umbe de hu bebia ya ba bedu ama sa this bone of contention between MPP and this chief justice EC see if you be free any aba bedu bebia du yan sorry sa keke unim when you check the background of a political party like the NDC it came from a revolutionary and then the PNDC background and so it got to a point that na Ghana for certain group of people were calling for constitutionalism and democracy, practice of democracy. Bisa won say wan mu na they say per se yemba back to constitutionalism and democracy na hwan mu. PP4. So MPP4 ye the 92 constitution by na nyina 92 mu say the 1992 constitution be di adwuma no. So upo bia open political party bia e be breachy aspects of the constitution on farm running nyejuma and so be disregard there. Clearly there should be NDC, right? But you know Nana Akufo-Addo aban missed a very fine opportunity to unite this nation and do the right things. Ebema Ghana for who say the so-called human rights functions no any constitutionalism fighting ya no ye nyina no. Nanke who say so ba emfaso. But yehwe die kosi ye omunya tumi na Akufo-Addo nya tumi no unim say constitution no boni buga boni ball pasa e disregard so many things
unim say divine me tambia me kan say na Akufo-Addo e disregard 1992 constitution because e ye NDC and e ye constitution
no ye NDC untumi nga say NDC
me fan say because e ye NDC abreso
because you have no choice because sometimes when the transition
because any party abreso and from Rollins
no say they here
juma say I said drink etia can say time one yeah time one
I mean setting right
okay
constitution you know no kwasem ni woma yeah MPP yeah MPP and lawyers a boycott to
constitution
yeah boycott to and say yes say enka no credit and about 98% and 99% womo efo aso no na ye prefer say NDC but enye no
what I'm trying to say is a constitution dey aye adwuma ye dey aye adwuma na Akufo-Addo apen so dey ono kra dey oye latter day saints ono dey fichire ya na say obae
na Akufo-Addo
me part as a constitution as a president no so no the last president where you constitution no afufrofo where you so disu abusu edu na penso no e den no dem mra ne ye osi emra no etiase enobu emra ne kon mu no ye ne basa enu na ediyen ababedu babia yadui hwe mami nka masem onim se ayi sera na me ka se Nana Akufo-Addo ebu emra no eti e disregard no na man nesisi a obi atumi ye de ope a it so obi anso embu emra no for me so obi sorry obeka say or call President John Dramani Mahama say ono de all of a sudden no ono no on de ofa onye the right things no setting your money yi no you ask yourself say if he fan ya ba be do say anemu President John Dramani Mahama ono de onye nyama mo de mo pe in 1958 Kwame Nkrumah the PDA Preventive Detention Act no the buy and what was it for that time no detention ebe cause without any trial ni achew and so many people suffered and nkofo complaining here when him say the time why ye outsee Kwame Nkrumah fee aban mu na expect say aban fo fraba inti no kanea ma omu condemn Kwame Nkrumah for say oye na no huntino omu bufu ye no na komo ba bibi foforo unim say sankrofo ne ba ye no one somebody like Abuzia and even the NLC no it was just changed a friend saying nomenclature necessary the same modus no mo apply ya omu yusu ye against Ghanaians so me bisa o imagine say at the time no Kwame Nkrumah had an opportunity to come back as a president. Now go back as a president. No be catch and someone you su PD or bro him say nkrofo buy no ebe you su ye entrench no di bonia. O sure best sanadwe. Me can see asem so. Asamuna me ka dia sisu ne say. One say na Akufo-Addo e buy ye. Almost all the state agencies are near person yem manu look say independent. Jumedia omudi no ye devoid of any political coloration or inclinations and answer manipulations no na Akufo-Addo etenti all these sectors in na Emma okasa krontie one let me tell you some an institution like the Electoral Commission na nyina ya say ye independent people nkrofo omuni omunye politically tainted and as for money political ebia and those days no obia ye ka say oye ebia inclined to a certain political party no it was all perception it was perceived it no only fact bia betu ebi one betimi atrans no conjecture say no I assume say I think say ebia osimesi say but unya basis bia entumi ngina so say osimesi na Akufo-Addo apen so pe and okofa card bearing members and conform party communicators or directors of the MPP political party to go to Electoral Commission. It has never happened in our history as a people. Somebody like Mills by I always say it say sometimes when we beach now boni dia dini boni man ye who say boni ni dino normal when you pull gun and I pull a gun there will be dialogue. Time one Mills by who can say MCs need DCs Mills more than 6 months said they should work munya juma Ghana for munyina muya Ghana for ni bi inti munya juma na do ba no be kire say or not to mean obi nya dwumo no presidency ne ba obeye de opebia obaye no e no slash ye me ba odem ba cho ma me kama se me pese me pese me line of thought no
lawyer mani nyo wi a me
ma me hwe unim ade ba ku bi o obi ti se Ofori ata okay say he was engaged in a scandal called Obotan scandal between senates unim say it almost ended him in prison now the data bank ye ba be collapse no that time no na friend said Mills aban aba na Ofori ata edi America kri no ko Mills o ka chen say asemo abani ye ko prosecute no the data bank is on the line for that scandal Obotan scandal unim say Mills ehwe nanimu an ka say there be we are Ghana new company onye bibia mane sofa or to go under and no rescue data bank ni Ofori ata company se na be ya e be surviving wouldn't say look at somebody like Ofori ata who benefited from the magnanimity of Mills no ono do any opportunity no anybody who crossed this line now no will fall out to be no he came after such people or destroy businesses. Even those people are crown, they went after them when they destroy businesses. Now Kagongo, then Heritage Bank, yes, you'll be some more court. Send next year can be. We see the source of Sikano because I say more court. If you look at the letter, revocation yina BOG de buy no o share reasons no mo state here no a very pedestrian and trivial nipa ne case wo no if say only liquidity challenge onya insolvent no or pretty business no one government has opportunity so maybe I will take you over the bank until the matter is heard say odi be mo a fara de ma no ne compensation bi odi fire che ne operate ot na wa na mu hono mo say da bi utumi nye na uku no. So you look at these people bonia omaba be dini boni say no ma kire nipa say etumi ya de e ma ne ya no abafu for bad dey amumu pesa mo nche ne say bi o mu onyansa o kai said last time ni bobie te ha and bobie conquered. They had a strategy say obi onim say power is transient now omunim say power betimi afio musem at any point no. Why do you think say they were so belligerent omo push them say no mo yom na say uto omufu bia omo si omo nti omo. You know why? Because they wanted to use the same law no loopholes na omo na kasa to fight the system because of the wealth now mama say no mo dey diboni into diboni kra no a o say ni sika na wanya no eno an obe use to frustrate the same system. And it's the same thing they are doing. And then I'm not say wouldn't say I filed 2 cases. 2 different cases. Okay.
Chief Justice
petition. Yeah. Okay. 2 different parties. Okay. And I file say Dami lawyer for event saying Chief Justice former Attorney General lawyer for MP no Asefua. Okay. And another group of people so I call to say CA Gary lawyer team. Oh, okay. So you look at all these things on it's all part of the grand scheme now mu ye and da say boni no de ebedimu but mu ye dem cry ba ebe use the same law no mra no e ho no to frustrate the system. What you say enti no omun jai omu game ni ye. It's me, Saji we are a Chief Justice. And then when you say Chief Justice is such a letter that Akoma, yes, President, Akope, Council of States, Akope, what no ha, Akope, Sofia Kufu as a member, and now Akope the Ghana Bar Association. Say, on also hearing copies of petition no. Copies of petition no they come up president no she wants to have an opportunity to look at it. No problem. Also all right. But the mimi ka kwakwakosi ni se nanama as it was in the morning so shall it be in the evening. Adebia obaya no pa bia no kai hu se esusu sanso no by the time ade besa no na da wanim. Ana me na me gidi se emra biara I said yes, it's a constitutional review here. Biara na kufu ado abanjina so or the year papa the year bonya is a son say it is still legitimate no. So before you sue the this abon no the year papa so there's nothing wrong. No, adabi tie nipa no na kufu ado afa no adi aye na niama poto. Yes, only himself that time no kasa o meka cho so onye Ghana ni. When you are even reminding them say isi hono no nipa na ade ne ko no oye regional communication director and say so de ne ko hono na remind onye Ghana ni omo hono ma time a omo pesa omo clank for efi the system ni mu they use the same it is a mrano esisaye na se mrano eye adwuma and then that me obi to say justice Tokonu. I don't see why she will even stress herself say na lawyer can say oh obey hero and she's fighting. What is she fighting for? We all know that position whether or vetting or then a parliamentary approval is a political appointment, a political position. Yeah. Nobody will try to look at it say oh Addo political political person. Wankasa utina radio so ka say mama na kasa na appointment require no na undo ye it was not on merit. Have you not said that? Okay me so okay say see akra waka so what I'm trying to say so all I'm trying to say is that you yourself you come to terms with the reality say if it's not on political grounds and do
me say legal profession no you respect seniority enti emra ye nominating no president ye nomination no na our seniors won anim tio nyameka e our seniors won anim ye kasa tia e se ndu ne so enti nanado ento ne bo when Parliament vetted there and approved it, and I was on Joy Express to say, I hope say it will be the first and the last. Now after talk on Uno, my yes biome, I even advocated say amended some provision by removing until Yengin Fiho. Not the most senior.
Okay.
We are saying the same thing. Assembly, you and I, we are on the same page.
But that political appointment, no,
political. At least we know, say in the legal profession, you know, it is based on his seniority. Any keyword. No, be a children of a kiki, there's a certain consideration. Yes, and your consideration be any other man.
Stop timing from lawyer on tenants.
But the angle I'm coming from, any yes, I'm say the moment you be Jiwatum nona, we are constitutional.
There be no constitutional. I think yes, obi misanya constitutional and the Juma. Nanado. Sana no tia baimu. Then your constitution in I see a judge where president. I didn't vote for him. Nakami Michel Kruma de Bamatukosia. Abonanim. But in a constitution, it's a genie to it doesn't change the fact that he's the president of Ghana. But I'm just saying that it will not also change the fact that even though Nanadu is Ghana for the president, let's put it on record. Let's also put on record to say, Madame Tokuno appointment politically
constitutional.
Constitutionally, politically.
Now, Divine Cabri being President Mills, there, a senka hit all year. A bribibia Ghana for anti President Mills, Abba. MPP, MDC is for na guho. One pamuamo. Only 1 more year, Juma 6 months. Na me, Kwekwan says, MPP ni near Professor Mills. Who ye, if he DC is for non seminal, name ye kura. Sabotage. Sabotage.
Because of President Mills, equipe almost sabotage President Mills.
And no man Mills and on Sana Drain. And after 6 months, who say,
Once point now, maybe can be canfa baby for no. It's the same thing, and they say, once I don't go for the who who's your best sabotage or buy no, only do be on in you press or press your neck. Namahama Baya Juma, not so bad resetting. No, Oral Juma. Na ye timi retrieve sika ye wiane ne amana say ono so obi a obe cross to be president neck whichever will be use wa I don't know somebody should have come
by then American Chief Justice the end there a different ball game
whatever it is
but lawyer at the end of the day ye law na yes say lawyer asana no grammar kasa ne brofo tintin the bottom line is that Ghana knew who right so be petition president who kwan so be ono so for onward action ono so be forward be set up committee we to council of state no mo ye ni nyina
dem no ya adwen
it is be you know anya ne dia
de bi ni ye de eso
ye be you know
ebusia for yi
wa bo me ato okra zero be
Peter Mensa deputy CEO PSC Tema Shipyard na ono so Peter so adjoin me awie Peter yes mu Jojo Chief Justice person mo de mo nkrofo banti no enti na mo yesa
order no ma menchia na menchia watifo nyina ene omo hwe wa fidi 10 so na menchia mempelifo minu ya device ya ache minu ya so pa ya mepe wona mo pa ne drawings no tinanse so ase minwita ase on draw bi but the first no na niama wadi nyi we drawing na did you any
oh say no me hobby as for the painting na me any there
painting no me hu bi ache tie na e bi na me mahwe the mama versatile ya
oh me like as and when I'm feeling no eba me mu and I'm say ma hwe no sa akopeteta kremu into no one day me bow we pa na wa the top na bro na me ma fall down no
said you no fe no se beauty na me no be
me se sa no sa no me bo no sa me imagine no who say be me capture no wo bitrim it me draw now the top na bo wo dem na me the down no
Anyway, lawyer mechao. Na oni bi. Si na meti lawyer sana mziye.
O banwo.
Na meti na pa lawyer pa. Usun kadia no boni street o. Si ade anyanye. De ye no so eye. De da no so wan fa anto a e be frato. Se nra ne de ye kwasi. Ene ye de ya adwoa eye. Enura de ye kofi enye. Enam so ye de ye kofi a ye nyina be ka se enye. Na ye ne se. Oh. Your friend is a koto de ne bodwe. Enya nchire ye van kontima ne nkrante. Emra wo man ye goyi. The abuse of power by President Akufo-Addo government, unprecedented under the Fourth Republic. And lawyer, you know it. One kasa kura kasa bi tia bebri de bia. And to be honest with you, point of argument no crab buttress the point. Meanwhile, divine a free base political appointment. But the order me ba mitrim a community mu. Yes, ya know what you're doing, sir, in the justice system. Ubia or what system no mubia. You know, appointing of your friends are processing near veteran and I are proving legally. It is accepted. Ubia ni hunchima. Na a crime bell so near fast so appointing ni pano. And then the actual say a political. Because one case what Transiaka say, Sir Chief Justice yo wuhi. Nan kamera mo ne papa mo no. Nam penifo bebre wana nimu a e wasa sa penifo na ye fa Chief Justice a ye hwe woni ansa na ya ba ne so eye tumi be na be ma ya tra sa penifo no ene yakwa obi o wachiri political power. The appointing authority no eye political. Enti appointing authority na eye political nti ene ye money free ye fa obi o di line ne to ene ye di na be di animu. And only a child say a political appointment. Though the person may go through the processes, get the parliamentary approval, just like you were saying. Right, nobody disputes that. However, a catapulting the party for a child in a child said to me, been a dear tree. So, on that grounds, and Ankasakurano, more fraternity, the legal fraternity, no, you were not happy with it. Sure. And I have power. I buy for frabba. And our buyers will receive petitions. Me, Adia manager who am Rassembia Mone say, go for no your program, but almost say, Emrane saying. What the assembly buyer say, Emrane saying.
Send Emraneka. Lawyer, Article 146 for the purpose of education and go for the Akanina, your cancer, American and Ghana 40 and we say. I am Rasso and someone for Chief Justice no be every step of the process. I am Ra. Will be anti-Amra. Article 146 of our Constitution, 1902 Constitution, they say removal of justices of Supreme Court and chairman of regional tribunals. Or see a justice of the Supreme Court or a chairman of the regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except 146 na make me baba kind the main area I cover Chief Justice no except for stated misbehavior number 1, incompetence number 2, or grounds of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind. So grounds of misbehavior, grounds of incompetence, grounds of inability to perform duty, grounds of infirmity in body or mind. And to number 1, there are legal grounds. You the Chief Justice. Lawyer Meboa. Bo. First one here. Meba. Misbehavior. Stated behavior. And number 1, you see, there was a tear once and say, see, because all your Chief Justice said, you Ghana Fui 1992 Constitution, Article 146. Me be church him clause 1 American canon. Me be can clause 6 no. Enti e tresa ye betimi ayi Chief Justice. Onye invisible. Enti mutia ni ye. emrana makwan si yebetimi agina di na me ba mpacho na ekwan na na se nyina so a yebefa so yi sa chief justice na di no so constitution nankasa yeden as a provide stated misbehavior, incompetence, not able to perform duty, infirmity in the mind or body. Yachire mu pefi enti wo be biada wo be timi anya reasons of certain misbehavior, incompetence, infirmity in the mind, not conforming to or not able to perform her duty. No, sani pana wo ho kwan was some mera way so one throw petition. That's it. Lawyer. Ena Ofori ho na waba. Ose na kwan be na obefa so. Article 146 clause 6. Ose lawyer de make nyina me say emra ne se senti na me kasa no. O tu no can just your friend is self no. But me fa free to ho mo yo. Lawyer say me fa free to e for. Eti me dey free to akwasi me dey free to ama lawyer. Because the make nyina no me patch say emra no se sen. Na ya ma Ghana fo anya say oh na ndisi fo sorry and o mo pese o mo abuse law and o mo sorry as yi chief justice free ho Ghana fo anamo bia yetu bia emra necessary. Okay, into lawyer say men can free to work. 82 no say a justice of the Supreme Court of Jurisdiction or of judicature or a chairman of the regional tribunal may only be removed in accordance with the procedure specified in this article. Hey, if the president receive a petition for the removal of a justice of a Supreme of Superior Court other than the Chief Justice, or for the remover of the chairman of the regional tribunal, he shall refer the petition to the Chief Justice. This has to do with superior judges, Supreme Court judges, but they are not the Chief Justice. Okay, now let's go to the
Chief Justice, no, or a Chief of the
Justice.
And you know, be 52 because of a Supreme Court judge.
Fantastic. It may say, it didn't kind of. Mrane tira wo say Supreme Court judges ni na mrane ma ho kwase ye betimi ayobia but se nipa enye Chief Justice no ye justice of the court, the Supreme Court mrane se petition ye mfa nkoma Chief Justice eno ne ye justices
ono ne ye justice
eno ye justice by yanko article clause 6 clause 6 ne say where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice the president shall acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint the committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the president, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. And even in composition, panel members no so much some Chief Justice na den so pretend no ma hwe near remove but the Chief Justice herself no constitution say petition president na anamo wo so otu say number 1 yan consult Council of State yan form committee yan omo hwehwe nsem no edi yamu say yam say ma me tokonu asem ya ye ken aso petition bi akwa na number 1 yes lawyer meboa petitions I call president and home president na ya take mako 3 enya ba ko 3 mako ma menka dia ajo man sambeti ase mako 3 4 petition ya 4
say ba ko wo ho dada ni ensan ko kan
fantastic enti justice no Chief Justice na asem no ono go petition mako 4
political
na ko and trust tio and I make say said you nsuo ye no say ye famra kwaso and ye di yi ma me saloto sai and the free one ye say constitution na gina so I remember those times we your conversation na emra ben yetia emra say and come on ye di no ni tia wa no
Peter say niam a wo sie betimi di agina so
yes
ayi Chief Justice no say wo hwe justice tokonu a sa eniema no
that tie petition meba when you are petition the content of the petition will determine the grounds.
President Mama, what's your salute to no?
They say salute to.
Salute to President Mama because Papa ne pese yen fa peri yoso enye bibia. Enka oya na go ye tintin from bia. On ne sa so petition o me sa so pede. Yeah you what. President Mama said that be. Amra ne say Article 146 no atire mu pefe ekwanya ye be fa so yi Chief Justice said. Enti President Mama etu sa na mo no pepe. Eti mumia mo President Mama baso. Na say as MPP for na wa masode ene ye ko. Woni mi say no so. Bobi na kan asem. Everybody can go to court. Enya that no guy. Say everybody. Ba ko na ye bia mi ntimi kan kaso. Everybody can go to court. Enti ene omo kwa obi asu omo kwan. Yi de wo say ye hu ne ati ase wa han say bibi biada ekoso abama mi tokono Chief Justice nyina no e famra kwaso obi anti amra no enti no emra no soso akere se ye oye wo ho kwan se ye beyi Chief Justice afri ho
okay
ene wa ma ye nyina so a ye de be fa so ne ye Chief Justice enti atiefo Ghana-fo tobo MPP fo ma sori a ene se si a lawyers be se different o mo come lawyers ni nyina agbomu a obi e kokoto anje de yi Afghanistan na ba Ghana yesu ye hu bi okrom adwudwamu a ene nyina ya tena
ba me Peter Chief Justice vetting our parliament
yes
they me hu yesa maame no appointment ye political na politics ni pay masters adwuma no oba be ye bra Chief Justice Timmy Gina Parliament Committee anim kan say ukuta birth certificate enu nche say oye Ghana ni
can you imagine
but say passport dia
can you imagine
oye Ghana ni lawyer
mama kasa mama
certificate ni be passport with birth certificate untimi nya passport
na me sha sa asem de bia me ko bia na me kan kra na me su woni bibi all documentation na a train identity in the country it is only birth cert and a train woman
the roots
baby Ofori oh papa baby Ofori on the face value every information is on the birth cert aside birth cert there's no identity card I will be somewhere
all other cards now make reference
to Supreme Court all other cards now make reference to
Ghana card birth cert
now Supreme Court now my Chief Justice say we cannot use birth certificate to determine our identity we are lost we are lost so on that lawyer
yes
say obi jina sadi we no ka say a kind of incompetence to determine a matter in that way oh na so no I na say mo beka
na say okra we MPP we beka sa
number 2
ba lawyer
number 2
ya sa say me okay say omo wie say you know kan wo ma ye condemn Supreme Court decision
okay
and na misanka kan say Sebiuta frache say no ni aye hu and they say unanimous unanimous and my misan question say so nipa 5 or say 7 obi eni na adwen ni bisa
say we are talking of no they are legitimate grounds
I say incompetence
legitimate grounds
there be in principle court biara wo kwan say obego right or wrong and onye incompetent
general be can say
well say we
abuse of power
any abuse of power
if you are
discretionary authority
discretionary power
that discretionary authority expose you
incompetence yes
divine better na make say yes sorry injira might need you dey share
na your man of misbehavior not yeah baby they were I'm a for better grounds of misbehavior public
but minianum ni am pese e ase ni say o man Ghana 19 na ye kun
of course
enti say ye Charlotte say edi ya fa kwan paso
like almost use
what they did what my party did was wrong
okay
me can MPP for the fewer na ye kan ya adwen na nado me kasatia ya
okay
but for once my sorry
okay so lawyer me they put it to you for once have we done anything wrong regarding this process?
No.
So
far, Mahama, near why you know, 100%.
My young man is what?
Peter,
at the end of the day, the content of the petition will come and clarify everything.
Two scenarios, no you. Sir, Charlotte said, "Yeah, Bayern, you condemn it. You say you're wrong." And so in this case, you know, so say we say you say be a Kufuado Bayern, wa abuse power ne emra. Ene di eyi Charlotte sent no we no so ye say bibi question na say ye yen konde ye
the American say two wrongs don't make it right.
Okay.
Two wrongs.
And there's no wrong here as of now.
Lawyer,
there's no wrong.
Ye ready see what parliament. Parliament will procedure emra omode run the affairs of parliament. Samra kronwano. Speaker for be yusu. Se obi
Michael Kwe yusu.
Michael Kwe we a member of parliament. Political party be na do buy. At the moment I be declare intention say as an independent now. We sit yen declare say vacant. Ya yusu samra no. And then back bin ko yusu ya. Chief Justice say a constitutional crisis. Yeah, I dear Chief Justice here, you know. Lawyer, Chief Justice kasa about law. Video na me boy na when near general. Was see bibi o ye bia law. Back bin and so law.
No use.
Constitution no use. Lawyer me ba. Senye back bin and e gina ne na so a. Ade anka omo ye o Supreme Court Chief Justice mo ye no. Enka samra no a from 1992 aye adwuma no. Enka Chief Justice enka samra no enko ase no. Senka backbone and Johnny Naso and defend it ni ruling. Any sa emra na o activate your the year juma efa those seats o declare vacant na enka per Supreme Court ruling Chief Justice mo ruling na buy no enka sa emra no enye effective bi me boa enko agu bra no
ba wonim kwan a e be fa so de CCA no
because and
enye removal
ye betimi asisa this okọ because emra no the whole plane but Chief Justice na emra no also protecting what the year juma no what on fa emra no year
Peter Ankan article 129 clause 3 intro
but lawyer
very easy.
May I say
Peter,
I want to.
Peter, so be kano kura. Sa October 17, 18 and December 7 and Chief Justice lead Supreme Court members be na one more chiefs. Me can say ni body language kura no nenye. Me can fear.
Let's work can number when you know. I mean, to be there.
Power more points. You see, misbehavior.
But I know you misbehavior.
Bad day.
Who say? Me say ahomaso.
There's a misconception I want to clear. There's a misconception I want to claim.
Okay.
With all due respect. Or say too wrong.
Don't make it right.
Is there any wrong here now?
The say Nanado indeed Mahaman.
That is not the point. That's the point. No, people have reasons on which they've written their petition and make us 3 petitions or say 4. So people have 4 different petitions against one person
on political
different which one? Have you ascertained that, lawyer? When you ascertain that point, until the American say there's no wrong here now. People have bases, people have reasons, and no more kuchiregun krata so say, Mr. President, ni on mind nai. Yensen for say yenti. Yesusu say, Chief Justice Mami Tokono want to mean to answer say, oh, Chief Justice. Mumman penifonshe mumfamra kwanso ni enyi free ho. Boni biansi wa. Okay. Let no say siano. Mesre Ghana for me the point I want to make say obi an from here. MPP for mu tutu no mu koba nyina no obi an from. President Mama until say ye be ya no sisi an for omo yan hwehwe mu no bia oman for ye pese 90 ase ne say e oman ne ye kyekere. Constitution na boy nyina ho ban. President Mama promises say obey uphold the rule of law. Ade bia wo ye bia na hihye ne na muntu obi o ye bia no obey make sure is in recourse with the law. Enti Ghana fo nya sa aboto mu no na resetting agenda na ekos no me follow MPP for mu ntnafie no man fan krata no mu ntro no su. They should write notes from how President Mama is leading the country now. Almost share there. No when you say that's Abraham Yam Yamaya Crasso. When I'm lawyers. But
Peter, now I can't you.
Yes.
Me. Me to me akano aguframa so
yes
say sanka nanado
yeah
of kwanya mahama efa so ya anka ye mmere
fantastic
because anka Charlotte say no obe receive petition meaning say me kai say or the command na mum ni mahama ye no atone bo no de command
and so open kwa for you
and no de why
okay
na do ye bibisa anka be abetra na o kan kura usu no
ni aye
no no go you
enti no ye nyina
oya no wase mo na mobile
enti no lawyer o kwa no asem no ka bia no ba besi ako na besi ba be ejira no
The briefing I got this morning, and let me comment the national security operatives and the law enforcement agencies. The information I got this morning is that already they've traced about 40 of them to a particular terminal or warehouse in Tung, which belongs to an Indian man of extraction. The briefing I got this morning, and let me comment the national security operatives and the law enforcement agencies.
To abati when said they have not changed their modus operandi. The same that is no that see they think that superior Ghanaians.
We don't go sit down big the Jesus every
day. Next topic.
Next topic.
I'm not John Jina partner Wakasa. Yet is containers bro. Kwa 1,003. Ayira. Oh, ECG containers. Yeah, bear close to 1,003 Ayira. But honorable Jina Pose area or say Oma Atra Kenya 40. India ni bi no motomano or matching open. But on my video in a discussion.
The briefing I got this morning, and let me comment the national security operatives and the law enforcement agencies. The information I got this morning is that already they've traced about 40 of them to a particular terminal or warehouse in Tung, which belongs to an Indian man of extraction. And they've confiscated all the 40 containers, and they are moving them to a secured location. The man indicates that those containers were sold to him last year, and so that's a subject of a matter of investigation, and the law enforcement agencies would ensure that the law takes its course. There are also reports of some other areas that they are picking intelligence. They will trace all of them, retrieve all the containers as soon as possible, and put the perpetrators before the courts of competent jurisdiction. Let me just sound that when we start prosecuting these people, let nobody come to say we are witch hunting. These are properties of the states. Every legitimate and legal means to ensure that we retrieve them and to hold all those behind these acts to account. And so we'll continue to work hard and ensure that we retrieve all these containers. We picked up this Indian in connection with this. The briefing I got this morning, and let me comment the
discussion. Peter, oh, Temahabo. Say we a deputy CEO. Oh, Temahabo. A simple, so I said, Rebecca say containers, ECG containers, Ajira, Edia free tema.
Minaba, she are who said, O mana ya one of my main case. Senkaya as a sound by pa, Kaya woo. Me say, the rot and the mess and the thievery across every sector. No? So my Ghana for Yansunya me pa near Makokubon Sam Kikaya Coman and Sako to Obama and PPA and Casamre na your obituary. Woman and Kay funeral. Because the mess at the port, no, and sometimes some of the sectors, no, I am a time. I dear way I can't want some. Ghana from Ebio. Mama Chabuchi. And ya adia, and this ya by ya nadia, you
okay.
Me pamo chomuntian ye. And ya dear, and this by and yako containers or port, yes, I transition period and omoma yeti say there are some ECG imported things be items be containers about 3,000 plus and a what am the kosher transition mutieni you na after transition after president ebe appoint the ministers any ade or appointing ministers and minister of energy eba ye John Jinapo and in penny 4 years say ye be start a investigation okay mo say containers be say 3,000 and among the makra what and nyama say anyway even at the earlier stages no we were questioning the content of the container, why they made such purchase, what was the use of those items, whether we and nyama almost see I think 10 years time go import it. And nyama it's mention about 10 years time. Yes, and those aspects will come later. Value for money issues will come later. But the issue has now say containers saying and I'm also in a transition and as a see containers saying and a war yard why
okay
and no na or come investigation and you say about 1,003 of the containers said you must take on anyone on inventory because ya transition at the amount paper so no ya trust say it is say ya throw paper so the amount see ya mummy yanko yanko kind and cautious say a crana and no na you John Jinapo the team ko take stock on an inventory of the items ya containers no 1,003 of them Yamutu Ayra. Who can some people before 6 years excavators? Oh, Kruma. That's a 500 excavators. You cannot excavators now, then 2. It is our containers here. And a committee no koshe yomushu no. I didn't read 1,003 Ayra. 1,003 na Ayra Ghana for Mr. Tiwa. And yes, sir, yeah, taking over from government and as 1,003 Ayra. MPP time of management and as 1,003 naira. Etienne, ye tracing their information ye put eyes on the ground sir. Ye tracking wherever sir containers no fire. And it's an tibi. Now in the video he confessed. Nipana our 40 containers no as it auto dabai last year. Yes. Auto
before or after election.
After election, there's no more Kroma papa.
After election,
MPP for after election, the things they did is sickening. And nothing that we are using a system to sanitize the system. The Biana Ghana for you to me deny now so brane. Yakoyanim. Messini Pana confirmation or Twadiana last year.
After
elections. Entity Senipana Twadiano last year. Samirinya, how many criminals? It is the same people. And now, among Kofoni be Omunya of the issue. And almost that and almost I confirm normally ways so your friend saying containers fly. They should wait for the full investigation into where all those 1,003 containers went to, who gave it out or who sold them out. Now prosecution will start. In fact, on this case, baby, ye tall container no. Baby, ye tall container no. Nipa or tall container no. Nipa or tall container ni no. Emrani omobedi. Enyama ewom ni emrani omobedi. Sa nyama baby akwa kodi sesiano ni emrani omobedi. Sa create loot and share agenda no. This is the highest of it.
Eti Peter say ya unim container no transition period na ya ma figure na ya 3,000.
Yes.
Then later no energy minister be who say almost 2,500. But 2,500 say kwe ka no aka
1,003.
So it's 1,003
naira yes.
It's aka 1,002. But in documentation krata mu ni de e kire say omu ECG e import ayi omu ne ma 3,000.
Yes. Oma kotrogu krata mu. It is a siano, a tracking a year. You prefer the beer MPP for the sack containers now, coaches, if you are beginning.
me baha na imbetu mrantie no na mebu se na mokasa ya na manage.
Okay.
Manage pa me de wawa me honda me kofi an maka kire me yire.
Okay.
Ghana wo future. Yen ye pay yen dues. Ye see kwanso. Bible no Saudi 70 ya ni aka no.
Inshrankwa.
Fantastic.
Extra time.
Bonus. Bana mbeto wom no mo divine by ya akare ni you say na masre tio awre ho say mona dachi ni ho a mo ba bisi anan nti me ni amo ye na emede papa na mom kai hu say enye MPP nko NDC abai wam hand over sa problems e woko mom mayen fa Ghana mum
Yes.
instead of NDC
Of course.
MPP na ni ayen mu bi enhu me a share with mu
Yeah.
krono a ekoso yi nyina no enye MPP nko sebe NDC for so ye tinken to ye mbo na se na mu hwehwe mu yi na mu gina ho saa na se aban NDC ni make sure say man hwe ya 12 years kwa na e na so enye hwe Ghana for say 88 ye beto ye na mo moden a mo ka say na makasa akire muhu
Of course.
se ni ayeye
Of course.
mo hwe ni anhwe ase se na be ya daachi bi no aban bi ba mo betumi aka akire oni ayeye ye e di ato ho amanchirima
Of course.
mo hu ni ayeye MPP for
Yeah.
ye nso se ya nhwe ye ni ekoye sa nso na ye be kasa fa ye hu na nansa o mampanyi e kan se ni minister bia obefa wadwuma say go mine no ono e wa semka e me depa so betumi agina sa asemi so na ni ministers etumi aye nia e be different from their MPP ministers. I was one of the people I say me can say Nanaju will go down in our history as the worst president Ghana has ever had and the most corrupt. I stand by what I said. So I say enunti se mishia mo ana mo kan mani age.
Okay.
Mo mayen fasa kwan we so
but Peter,
So let
sir,
me conclude on my
Peter,
side.
me ye I a bit disappointed.
Okay.
Because sir MPP Erini. Na say after election wetimi at NDC wetimi at na Ghana ha. Ama containers 1003. Anjira yetimi atunto ko tede mu ka say India ni ye chi nui. Ye chi India ni say o say after election any a ton man na say NDC mo after election mo lusu guide palma say
That I Obaba won't take you over. Port honum no. Omongo fon kwane wo. You have not changed. And only when the president holds
okay.
the swearing in moment and they are sending some we not 2 minutes one is someone.
But MPP anya sao.
You entity and appointing authorities na ebeshe nisem. Some penfo no mo hye ahanu ho no nyina at the port. Obia no obia that's war. Until say president may appoint new members to even go there. And even as we speak, it is not all the people are when we appointment. Appointment of people to various agencies, institutions are still ongoing. And government is a process. You don't just get up and do everything once at a go. You can't do that. So what I say, so what I say,
Okay.
it's just abuse of power, wickedness, and just like lawyer you were saying, President Mama only yakosha kukuom ni yakasa. And then ministers and one on your magazine, CEOs, deputy CEOs, every appointment of President Mahama has been cautioned because President Mahama no and even another foreign public or what that track record of prosecuting his own. Yes, until no ne sekana esikanu fanu what we am for ma wani show de amount
na hwe na ye ne yiye na didi mmom sa wode won samienu ekwa kobom na mmara ne tewa mmara ne obedi enti sa ye hu we ni asese hu so obi abodwe ses ya no adan wasensuo eden asudi ho edi ya points no ye to ye ho fo
okay
na ye de enhyehyɛ no egu akwam but de wenu ma ye ne de no kwasem ne Ghana fo monhwɛ da bia containers na fa bia no said ye ne ye ndro chi ne ya ne ya chebe 40 no de aka nyina be chi ama Ghana fo na mo hye kire no so ye be ma mra ne wona di
uni meba divine so but quick one uni Peter enkofon so bi dwen say said ye a free 3,000 later no per document bi so che say 2,500 kwan ayesa nye 2,500 ni nyina akora ne buy
investigation is still ongoing, and we are trying to track. Okay. And this one, just look at those quick one. Within a short moment, yeah. Any aquaculture 40 containers.
Okay.
That means wherever the rest are going, ever connecting in
okay. Divine.
Peter, now okay, no me papa say.
Yeah.
Bruni ejuma. Eya ban ejuma. Ye didi hu ye nidim.
Thank you.
Okay.
And one year foot.
Divine patch of them why.
Unim sa same way ne kind some way unim the kind unim say almost set a trap ma ora jonjinapo and what tomu trap no almost set a man no the kind what the transition no time no more information no the man no na accurate information and you follow ups no na ma really Eniyama atosin ewo system ni mu na the communication gap na ora jonjina pode ba ni mu na no na ama MPP for na take advantage na me nya Peter ka say MPP for na omu ni mu no they know what they are doing because omu ni mu they know ade no omu ye no they are just being mischievous it's deliberate say omu pese omu ntumfu tro mimi wo honum na kofo frame say omu say nditi for balance ya omu ko wiewia containers ni nyama and they know say sanya asem ne ko no unim say endra tamwa and then samote anum na mo discuss asem we buy no MPP for have an emergency national committee meeting to discuss how the party is becoming unpopular.
Okay, and then 3 days and
no more discuss no emergency meeting because for party head officer. MPP is becoming unpopular and unattractive to the youth. So and some of these things in here, corruption, manual. When him say press conference now, Attorney General here, as ama abutuom like as among so that meeting no sa containers we no they just wanted to equalize and quickly no throw out into the air say NDC for buy na 2,000 something naira.
And my sister Okumasi osi o tie Kumasi station e dey na senior NDC buy o ma wia containers brought 1,000.
Because say John Jinapoba na okase something is missing. No one church asem yi no. So onu mom no pese excuse me. Onu mom no pese Ghana for ehu no kra e wa asem no mu say ade na fahin. Wonim say ade ba ku bie so e wo sa ade mu say yen Ghana for yete honum bibia na de abrɛ say taxes ayentua tariffs ayentua bibia see en boy aboso. Meanwhile, no, abaimu penyifo ne nkrofo mu abaimu esom do mo kate omo lifestyle no that prof legacy no esom twa so na ye Ghana for ho to he no omo do mo si omo njai. And look at this thing so unim so mo connive here this thing no ho enye just about some ECG staff will be checking a whole cartel because me no ka say sa containers in this one enye chocolate and you golden 3 chocolate now they show to come so the command girlfriend and your containers are emu eduro and now him say before I dey be port no customs for womu national security for womu military womu police for womu just say institutions no and how to mean clear ECG ankasa no more that dey no
what chairman sukran
to me but you know say dey we be jira no do you know what they did unim say what has come to the fore no say some state institutions where some of them no when they are making their requisitions no more orders outside no more private event saying individuals of Osika no more orders no say na be ya omunyama ne ba make clear as part of government concession no nyama no no ma yes
Osi day
me see say aban no omo rekushisi so omo ye for state institutions in nyama so omo hia nyama so ECG for some of these institutions no omo ba be yom orders are na omo ni private people no so akonaive na omo de omo de akwa shem. So at the end of the day no it is the same with the ghost names no. Do you know what happens? The real people no ma ye adwuma no ube hu say ye ntuom ka na ghost for no de ntuom ka dada because into him say scan no baba no the kase ECG for the ko clear eniama ye ECG akasa de no na private people they are ko clear omo de na omo de ko fie na ECG for de to because him say baba be yam omo.
Okay.
Pese me kan Jinapo minimum no. Ba mate se oyade pa.
Okay.
Oh, serious.
Mate so oyade pa minimum. Nti moko amon kan chen se onto aso sa ma onchi akwa mon sesa.
Of course. Of course.
That's lawyer. That's pa. Yeah, that's lawyer. Divine young boy.
Le o no bogala we boy yi ba ko. Be bobuga ba ko. O no bobuga. What you say? Someday be me tie no ma ya appointment no. Obona ba so some of the appointments no me so obona ba so one day be down moment so team me hwe TV tra ni buafu. That appointment ya mo ye say.
Na ora no na me ka say.
Okay. Divine yana yanko why na.
Oh, who dey do me so happen here ko?
Oh, kasa say me say kasa. Enye yanko me say kasa. Divine kasa. Kasa ne yanko sa na me kan.
Enti the me kan say all these things we num nyina no ye keta hye ne proye ne krono a e course wo SO government na ma. Have you ever sat down to ask yourself, Senti, imagine pass you talk about NPP for breaking it and how this on my way, then pan and KBC. Have you asked yourself that question? Say, imagine pass you talk about we say them breaking 8 and breaking way 18 in ano. This was the agenda. I didn't come the baby new
because any man bonini
do. Now imagine say Nita, it's honomu. Nanita okon account mu a kakraka ni na account sika o mu ye 25 Ghana cedis mi momo kura ni sika ndu
na so no the car
863 million Ghana cedis overdraft
no
akọ individuals pocket o oba ko jisika no bank e dey akom kotokuom. It's all of these things ringing on sa ECG ade we ya yeken and me buy me te say Indian man bi wakwa konya mu 40 ato e ba be che no that che na e see e be yi no. I'm hoping say ye be track obi bia and me biggest concern no civil servants the public servants no. You know sometimes no political appointees in the initial bebre o obekomu no na customs any boys be on more port one ne security national security for boys be enti omudin obi anhu omunti omudin no omu no mo fa akire e no makomu di sa adwiri mu yi ne keta hyehyɛ yo.
No, in this case the divine me ne wonya adwen ECG containers ECG our managing director ECG our board so you think say after election no yeah NDC and take you over no customs for bi ni boys bi wo hono na civil servant for bi ebetimi ayesa
na isi person me sure say ECG for na nkasa no sa containers na mo order niama no na yesi niama 3000 4000 a mo to me give you proper stock of a niama na wo container ni mu no wankasa kra na mu nyo werem
until kra ni start free say transition period omo ma figure 3000 then later energy minister be hu say 2500 then to chase if but ECG account document mu nyina na say 3000 container $500,000 sa 3000 ya na nya 3000 2 times just 500 containers sika bia di kan afa ba bi no
and na pese me cho say
ansa na we no so ho asem no and then me de me hunu ni say this is not the first time omo yes adi what me say ECG containers no omo import baba bada eton.
Oh, say na me pese me cho say eniama na omo de ba no bebre honum a na street light ya omo to me buy say the 30,000 abai obe kona di nyina agu ayi okanshi stores mu a ye de ye business agu go for shops mu because ya diverting no it's the same thing
hwɛ unim sɛ containers na ngasa no mu ka sɛ ɔmo tie Jinapo account na inventory no mpɛ sɛ ɔmo hu specific items na ɔmo order yɛ container no mu no nkɔfo no tumi nkyerɛ deɛ ɔmo mɛka ne sɛ ɔmo generalize no ɔmo si o ɛyɛ transformers ebi meanwhile no they were hoping say comment say containers 1,000 say na wom ne dodo say na wom enye omo na ba ya after transition no they came and then they informed us not knowing no ECG cry to me kra niama edeba no ahye da ma the mortgage ache no no we are ya auction no obi akwakoto na sa ni pa akoda san so aba beton ma ECG $4 no matter aye nipa na omaye omaji say omo begu oman no abo oman ne kro no MPP fo no sa ne omo yes omaje oman no sa intimidate sa asem we NDC fo so mu omo asem ka na omo nkyerɛkyerɛ sem no mu yie because see ansa ne NDC fo na so MPP fo so asem no mu a omo di chi basabasa na omo ye no
report ni be pie
by inja communication into hono unim say that small gap na ebeda mu no no mo gina so a omo di sign ya ma no enti no me dem se mo njai say be ya John Jinapo every day bi o asem we abai onye ho press conference o man kofo hu state ya ba be do because the people are misinformed ono up ti o imagine say the confident trickster ono awia no mo abokro no o ma teni asem no de aba beto NDC for so as if so omo na afa ade because omo hu o masem ka o ti ase because omo according to them no o be ka say o so ko hu ye and all of us ade na yera and no afa ade no meanwhile no so nim sa ade ni ho nti omo hwe na omo ka asem no mu yie na yentumi nya nya asem no puma sibre
Peter enra na me ni bobi edi sa nkomo
okay
so ho sabe nya ne be kire minister de a obeye first day ade ne ba no kasa already onya committee no report o kasa radio station and then wo kasa me hu ne say ene say 40 containers yi wa kasa sa briefing you dey me on daily basis but Peter sanka minister it me your press conference ena wo bi ade nani so a ena ade a chine TV stations radio stations no obi ebiem no obi eche because so we can say Accra FM has a year you don't expect say Ghana ni bi at Accra FM
that's true
and then you can hear what area we has say TV3 and you obi na ye dey eti so but press conference there e be your topic ya and now we ade a chi a obi anu anu obi e fa obi e dey ye dey e ka ye be hu say containers ni ba da be e brebe na containers ni e yiraye ebrebe na we ya ma 3,000 later 2,000 we constitute we isa committee ya because uchiremu wa ha na nipa kakra bi ati no wa chemu na nipa kakra bi ati na party communicator no akwata no I think say do be a communication no
you have a point about you see issues ni the enya banesa was say open but looking at the magnitude of the case no said you see can any misunderstanding any information how you have to get time and get the information in concrete and sign a full blown press conference
but also we so social media so as okay MPP for ne ayi your friends are feathers means because feathers as so contain any mu na etu me sister wo Kumasi o se na de Kumasi stations de omo ye no say NDC ba power less than omo wi containers 1,003
so mo fidie kwachi pa me fa mo fidie so na makase Ghana ni bia wotie me sa containers na ayira no MPP fo mu be fra ban so no mu wi asa containers no ena NDC aban ya be ya hwehwemu ne hu sa 1,300 containers na ayira ene ya nyame adom ya kwakochi India ni bia wa confess wa kanokure se ampa MPP fo aton 40 of the containers at the man enti no kra ene ne say MPP aban wansa no mu be fra ban mu no mu wi a sa containers no eno ne kra no ene ne yakwakochi India ni bia ono so aka no kra say yampa MPP 40 containers at the man enti sabio mu kro no na wo mu boy ya bo mu so no
ana danko dada days e de menua divine e ka se wo monimu pa na eye mischief ene propaganda ene wo mo pese wo mo ye enti bebe biara wotie me e wo self education so what is a MPP ni bi ka se ena containers and this buy na ira eye hurodo hurada yansam ka che ne se oye trofo ena India ni na ya che no was say MPP for ton 40 and the man last year and no moton man na last year one and wa bemu MPP for and then wa bemu e di containers ayira ye ka ho asem no kura ne say MPP for na atom containers and then ya ba ye chi
na nya ni nyina na ba
na o ya me ba na ene no oba wa kasem a bigiri se no etasum na menim se honorable minister ebedu no ho say ya ba hwe say ya be ye major press conference on this issue na all the facts no e dey put in be na kana fo nyina ehunu kura wo sa ade we mu say de be ya ekira obi nkogina hankase ade chia obi nkogina hankase na MPP fo munya me brasem a wo mo ye ya ansa na wo mu fire abemu no ya ma Ghana fo nyina hunu say me say divine asam ya me kan ya am so aka to so no say people for nyame ma anhu ye mobo pa no mu breki eti okrom ha wa enka samre mo ye nyina enka say Togo na ebi makwa akopese metna o say Beni o say ukọ Burkina Faso na obi akwa akopa me come tell say see a MPP for even one extra year e dey kan ho ahụ enka kro no mo bobo ye say to because say the MPP for didi no enye o mo nsanko a o wo mo nsane o mo nai wo mo ti no mo di bubu mu tese wo dwen ho say na MPP for yi o man no mo dwen ye ho de
okay
na kan hu say what the okay sisi ya me de manu si
okay
na a whole a whole government agency 25 Ghana cedis na wo anopai wo ba kra wo frifie sika san na de ma wo ba ne one day wo ba anopa wo ko suku sika san na de ma wo ba no na a whole company sika ka wo company a bank company account mu aya 25 Ghana cedis so na company no at the ka 830 million
as low so
830 million Ghana cedis ha MPP for mo ya mamma for o ma be bomman no na nhrenka nya me say yaba na ye hihye niama enti se de ye hihye niama ne be sere Ghana for muni akina musua de na MPP for mo musua
nita maame we
Ghana wo hwe no
na unim say anda kesi an corruption aba bonten ne nansan nyina ye ono an ministry
of communication
asio na unim say say agency session na se a omukra no yenti omudin kra po na sa sika we yebubo di no
na de yebeto
na imagine omo
na kanita de ankandita de ayasa na wo yes 25 Ghana
cedis 25 Ghana cedis
now no the cow over
25 Ghana cedis
yes
is that in cedis or dollars?
Cedis.
25 Ghana cedis.
Okay, $1.25
cedis.
And I can also
and one more 830 million. 830 million. What was I can we have to work? Na sika wo account to mu 25. Ah! Onim say papa ya wono ko atofie mako 37. 37. Na ya tabiri o man sika na nipa ba ko kwabra ne one agency akoda no uwie ya 37 houses.
Now you say, Sabi you sika omuwia ye nyina. Onu say omo enya hu nyansa say omo de be enyuma. Ama material. Onu say omo enya o madwin say omo de be and you know because they don't even believe in the Ghanaian system no. Omo fa nya bibia. Ofa ba bibi wo Ghana say you. Ama Ghana nya ho fa so.
Na mabuna brasa.
Dia ya omu kura ne say sasika ya omuwia no nyafu. You ask yourself, say, into we the bebre, sabi you, then pa na we are
37 houses. No, we be try sabako dia tubakum, what you ti dia kotubakum, what you 9 dia kotubakum, what food abakum, o he na obed the him
na we put a dikin no, naka de okum bosom so de ene.
No, to be honest, nyame anadi afofie pa. Ekofo ye yi o mo fia bemu. Na nka de be to man no. Oba na mame mo me nkofo ya baso o say me water shipyard
okay
now restructure na ye water shipyard no
okay
you nim say me pa Ghana fo nyina ebehu ba bia ye ka so mo say ba bia no ba bia ye hwe ho eka ho but nyame adom my able CEO Mr. Suleiman Osman the leadership no you put nyama together you restructure nyama
me pe adwuma ho ho menya
one of our fantastic guys sir
Peter me say me pe adwuma ho menya
one of the fantastic guys Mr. Rashid Nuruddin your friend is one of our guys. They are really doing fantastic work there. Okay. Now also me bought on my baso because very soon the shipyard one of the key agencies ruling up the 24-hour economy. Okay. Because we are going to run 3 shifts. That means you be creating more opportunity for the youth. That means you be raising more revenue for government. Now on mine say the president mama person reset on mine ya restructure on mine no on mine to me jina brand said the MPP for best sell on mine to say hu niam ni bia ya na asefem abofono MPP for pa dey say jame amaya nyi o man kenya Obama menka enti no ma memmo madwuma for ba so mo ye adwuma pa ye mo ma ba so
na madwuma me say me pa adwuma why
aba asamba nya botre ye wedding ko
we see you want me pa adwuma
ye wedding komo
me pa adwuma
is Peter pressure dan so no no pressure Edda Peter so no na mumi de mesra de say mu amu esi you see amu di post ni amanya appointment mu hwe ni what say na na adom time enra me the video bi to me ya che say obi peduma disabled girl bi o peduma see obi agere no akonwa mu afaya no oh yeah it's on record yeah we Lazito say Lazato na no cancer asem no to the extent say they were talking about some of the a lady with disability or compare juma just say na ninye na see you be ache no ya some MPP for year ya ka ho asem sia so all of these things you know post no manya no munye careful omo a get yenim microphone so bia
mo ma me fa course ka 0302208090 esa no omo so wachire no omo adwa ma me fa course kakra 0302208090. Hello, good evening, Pacho Bodini Uncle.
Nana Maya Santua, we unia bema Gemfi Francis, oh, that's all, man.
Young community bema.
Hey, you made many opportunity. My minister to the upon a whole day and I do mean Shira Mao. Yanko Pon shared you must so ye more mind Ghana, no more who burns you a town for some. Your best sorority are spiritual, physical, and Yanko for that crash on in a bushia or yes with him. Yanko for one kind of non crowd. The American say, Nanama, the American say, MPP for who Pekua or Ghana Hapa or my day war from pa a MPP for the Antina America. So I say, or more, you let me know you 3 or more come once a muna, Pino was not done through one some all I say 1% now. Omuka so mo de ba na NDC for so mo nya no mu yi na nya 1% nti say omo yi afiri ho kra na ke say omo nya hwe na mi bi sha say tama omo ba 2017 na mo mo transaction na say ni ye dada na tax bia na so what ya nti mu na mo de beto so nso so be bre omo ho ase na omo be ye so mo bi omo no bon still omo da so kasa
okay
na me ka so omo den wo
me da se Jamfi from my next commission mo tam no continue to twa so ma me. Hello caller, good evening. Hello, good evening. Me ba dem ko why. Hello.
Hello.
Pacho ya to nka yenko.
Pacho even bo abaso.
Me da se.
Hello.
Uti on kasa why? Hello, ya to nka.
Pacho good evening.
Good evening.
Bo ba so na ejuma amoye.
Da se.
Dem pese me kacho mpenyin fon se mo ka sama eya omuntie mo. Mo na mo hotu omo. Mo na mo nim information nye omo na omo ba na omo to ni cho omo no. Sa other stations bi no ba mutu omo chi se de afi ye de omo bi na chi omo mo nya isa ni ma no. No mo show no mo ni ko mo ho. Na de me kan so omo mo ni ko youth no mo support omo na grassroots for no omo ni ko mo na mo nya position no mo ni ko mo ni ko mo na mo kai omo because youth nani abre enti mu teach omo a omo ni bebre wo mo so ti je meka no na afa so kumase for no mesre mo wo tra akra no ka se wo kanche ko akira o nko ba bia because ko to say MPP you for you akwakotere kumase na omo ye saade no
mate ye be kwa ho mate ye da se hello next caller good evening
Brigadier Bank Makotia Hima.
Yenko.
So said the Okana.
Mate.
Last commander, Mini Tutupachi, Ashima Soba Canable. Mammy Didika, I said that is your command crew. And producer, the champion producer, the award winner producer. Yakan so command the boss, Peter Akwesi Mensa, Bra Miss Usori friend. The thing can't check. Yes, when you're appointed.
Hey, boss, Cassan and Crawford, I didn't you, Miss Rowe.
But, Mammy, yes, you are said you also here, but you are saying, one him. Why you not your mechanic tell you say, Mammy and share a com Emma Trimunku. Say John Dramani Mahama, I am not say Obegu NDC, and yet the ordinary Wakabia on fire Juma. Say people for free say, minimum 2 hours, you have given me in that. Na ye say Georgina Po why you na aji ye say adwene e damu so ko Yakubu mo bia bi o fa ne de nya adwuma e na ehuna mane wa ba be ka so bia ya ba ban less than 4 months ye the area containers 1500 plus and that's 1000 plus na the 10 years MPP for your criminals intelligently omo ti okro no bomu o mi sa so botom no o pai obi konfo sa no mo tie
okay, me that's it. Hello, next caller. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yo, mpacho yenko wae.
Yo, me kakra me ka se fema buburu kusia.
Okay, abuburu.
Buburu kusia.
Ade ebe yi nseda.
Nseda da me kan se ni Mahama bitimi, President Mahama bitimi aso sidi e wo MPP fo no so. She say judge no. High court judge no. Any Supreme Court judge no you repeat ho. So when you want to do honest woman or hobby, would you people be aqua? Only down. Send you year at a message or could open some the same thing on my transfer to the atom.
Okay.
And to me, maybe I'm a treasure say, only for the food and almost for the platform. And maybe people for no more book on no more mass and to fall into say, you say, and yes, this is when a year container and a people for a year.
Okay. That's the next caller. Hello, good evening. Yo, me pacho yenko wai.
Me did the more me kasa.
Yo, more.
One MPP for no, omo ya nyatum. Omo ya nyatum papa fiti. You ya brezo abetin the omo ya nyatum papa. Nanso atadi ba pawa no mu ye de ano. No, you know, my lawyers, the papa to me, I was about to studio. Well, wouldn't that I'm running the office. It's not them on one. That's a lot of no one, or no meaning. I'm at the gun, I know, as you do, as you do.
Okay, Medas, hello, next caller, good evening.
Fine, and I'm a home.
Yami Addo, young Kawai.
Oh, my Ben or Yarfa.
You, Ben.
Nama, say, I debating. Na Ghana ira be nwa na nama ubada besore adetini na Ghana ayira be nwa
anda NDC de be yame nwanwa
me say excavator makwa ko fa na ayira ye hu ma ayobo ya makwa ko fa na ayira ye hu container makwa ko 3000 emu 1000 over 1000 ayira wo Ghana ha ye hu ye emu 40 in wo zo nwu en kai no don jafo me tire no Okwabia obama security fu ahwehwe container na ayira no e dey magana no obomo dey anovazo no hwe maye
me das last caller hello good evening nyame adom
kasafi aklama efrem agbe
okay agbe yenko
misre mampeni se yenti agena tu abano Yema koso man mo enye tu abano njon sisi tanye mano yema na yira ni na se wadi yira na so obi nse enye den se oti oli pakulu na o junye mano ti sem jere no roll is ba o maimu o lo wu so we diska o ti obi na so ja paris di sisi o maino
okay yo ya das yɛda ase yɛwie hello yɛwie abusua aha na yɛde sie
yɛde nsɛm nyinaa ebisi ha yɛda wase sɛ wɔn abra kan ho yɛde nsɛm nyinaa bana wie subscribe to channel no do adwene to comment section like na share dwumadi ma afoforo ensa enka bi
Dedi kama Amena Pendream TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, Pendream TV.